Well, let's get more on this. We're now joined by Paranjoy Guha Thakurta. Paranjoy is a journalist, he's an author, and he's a political activist. Paranjoy, good to have you on the show. Now, you've written a book on crony capitalism. What do you think Modi's second term will look like, especially with his links with big businesses?
I don't think it's going to be very different from his first term. In fact, all that we see that happened over the last 5 years, we may continue to see. We might see an intensification of various trends that have happened. The fact is, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP, is a right-wing, it's a Hindu nationalist party. It believes in the virtues of majoritarianism. That is what Mr. Modi is there for you. He's converted India's multi-party democracy into a US-style, American-style presidential contest. He's always been that way. He's a demagogue. In that sense, he has a resemblance to Donald Trump. He believes in seeking political support on the basis of emotional appeals, not so much always on the basis of facts and figures and analysis. So what Mr. Modi has been able to do, that his machismo, his projection of himself as a strong leader, has been able to divert attention from the economic problems of the country that include not just crony capitalism, but absence of jobs for young people and an ongoing crisis in the farm sector, the rural part of India.
Okay, I want to follow up with this. After claiming victory, Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted out, quote, "Together we prosper, together we will build a strong and inclusive India." What caught my attention was the word inclusive. Now, this is a leader, like you said, who ran a very nationalistic campaign. What's the position of the country's Muslim population now?
1 out of 7 Indians is Muslim. And the ideological parent of the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, that is the RSS or the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, have always talked about a Hindu nation. A Hindu nation is on their agenda. So I dare say that the 14% of India's population, and that's huge, by the way, because given the size of India's population, India is soon going to become the world's most populous country. And if 1 out of 7 citizens of India is Muslim, that means there are more Muslims in India than in all but perhaps 2 countries in the world, that's Indonesia and Pakistan. And so I dare say that Muslims in India are not exactly overjoyed, and some of them might be apprehensive whether the majoritarian agenda of the ruling dispensation will be continued, whether they will be treated as second-class citizens in a country, and that these are genuine apprehensions, and time alone will tell whether these apprehensions are unfounded or not. So far, over the last 5 years or thereabouts, there have been various attacks on Muslims, including mob lynchings, and regretfully, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi, has often been criticized by his opponents, his political opponents included, for not condemning these incidents, and his silence has often been deafening.
Okay, Paranjoy, I want your take on some of these unofficial results that we're reporting. Some would say, you would say, that the country is divided as ever. There are economic concerns, yet it looks like Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP is on course to increase its number of seats in Parliament. What do you think is the reasoning behind that? Because some would say that he hasn't delivered on most of his previous campaign promises.
I think because he was able to successfully project himself as a strong person. He kept saying that there's nobody to oppose me, that there is a Tina factor, there's no alternative to him. And I think in the run-up to the election, the last few weeks in the elections, he upped the nationalist agenda. And he said, you know, we'll take on our enemy, and we're going to go after them. And the incidents that took place in Pulwama, in Jammu and Kashmir, and the retaliation in Balakot in Pakistan, all added to the nationalistic fervor that Mr. Modi whipped up. and as a result of which he was, in my opinion, able to divert attention from the economic problems like joblessness among the youth, the fact that, you know, farmers are leading a precarious existence. All these factors, in my opinion, contributed to the larger than expected victory of Mr. Modi and the BJP he heads.
All right, Paranjoy, thank you very much. I do appreciate your analysis.